Long ago, in a tranquil kingdom called Eldoria, there existed a lush and ancient forest known to the people as the Whispering Forest. It was a place of mystery, said to be older than time itself, where the trees murmured secrets to those wise enough to listen. The villagers revered the forest, entering only with good intent and humility. Legends claimed that deep within it lived a sage older than centuries, known simply as Sage Arion, who possessed wisdom beyond mortal comprehension. In the bustling heart of Eldoria lived a young man named Darian. He was known for his wit and daring spirit, but also for his arrogance. Darian believed wisdom was merely a tool to outsmart others, not a virtue to humbly possess. He often boasted that no one, not even the elusive Sage Arion, could match his cleverness. One summer evening, as the village gathered around the central bonfire, old tales of the Whispering Forest resurfaced. Elders spoke of the sage who could solve any riddle, foresee the future, and mend the most broken of hearts with mere words. Fueled by wine and pride, Darian stood up and declared, "I shall venture into the Whispering Forest at dawn, and prove that wisdom is but a parlor trick. I'll outwit the sage and return victorious." The villagers pleaded with him to reconsider. "Many have entered seeking to test the sage," warned Elder Mariah, "but few return unchanged if they return at all." But Darian's pride was deaf to reason. At first light, armed with his wit and a heart swollen with arrogance, he set out toward the dense emerald veil of the forest. As Darian stepped beneath the towering canopy of the Whispering Forest, the world behind him seemed to fade into silence. Sunlight filtered through the thick boughs like golden strands of thread, illuminating patches of moss-covered ground. The deeper he walked, the more the forest seemed to breathe, not with wind, but with memory. The trees whispered in voices too ancient to understand, and the air grew heavy with unseen eyes. At first, Darian scoffed at the eerie stillness. "Tricks and tales," he muttered, pressing onward with confident strides. Birds flitted away at his approach, and strange shapes seemed to dance just out of sight. Yet the deeper he ventured, the more uncertain his path became. Trails twisted upon themselves. Familiar trees appeared in places they shouldn't. Hours passed, or perhaps days' time bent in odd ways under the forest's enchantment. Then, as twilight settled, he found himself in a circular clearing bathed in soft blue light. At its center sat a figure cloaked in woven leaves and time itself, Sage Arion. His eyes, like twin stars, pierced through Darian's bravado. "You've come to test wisdom," the sage said without greeting. "Then let us begin not with riddles, but with truth." Darian straightened his posture and smirked. "Truth is but the cleverest lie," he said. "Let's see what game you play, old man." But Sage Arion did not rise. He simply gestured to a stone beside him, and Darian reluctantly sat. No words were exchanged for a while. The forest seemed to lean in closer, waiting. Then the sage spoke. "What is the cost of always being right?" Darian scoffed. "Nothing. Power favors the sharp mind." Arion's eyes flickered. "Then your first lesson is complete." With a whisper of wind, the clearing changed. Darian blinked. He was no longer a man of flesh, but a tree, rooted to the earth, his thoughts trapped in silence. Around him, the murmuring trees echoed regrets, boasts, lies, and truths of countless others who came with pride and left with stillness. Years passed, or maybe centuries. In time, Darian listened more than he ever spoke. Slowly, humility grew in his heart, like moss on bark. And one day, he understood. With the understanding came change. In a quiet dawn, long after Eldoria had forgotten his name, a traveler entered the forest and was met not by a sage, but by a young tree that whispered wisdom in the wind. Darian had not outwitted the sage, he had become part of his wisdom.